I'm a minute late. Diane. Good evening all and welcome to Sunday night's Victoria Ring quiz, being transmitted live from my front room in Hill Morton in Rugby. So good evening to you all and welcome to another exhilarating Sunday night quiz, which I'm sure you'll all enjoy. Now tonight we have 6 rounds as usual. The first round tonight will be entitled Sunday the 7th, as usual. 10 questions where I've given you the first letter or a number of the first 10 answers. Right, good evening, Ian Barkan. Nice to see you. How's things with you? Good evening, Donna Brown, and Diane Alexa. Nice to see you all. And Michelle, of course, the first to sign in tonight. Michelle, Charlie, and James. Good evening to you all, and hope all is well with you. It has been a bit of a miserable day today again. Didn't manage to get out on the bike. We were going to go out yesterday, but we didn't get out yesterday. We haven't gone out today, but never mind. Right, we've just had Kevin Keenan and the Rugby Rotary Club have joined us. Let's see how many members of our club we can get online tonight to join their team. They may need some. Now, of course, in this awkward time of social distancing, my wife said she is not going to fill my glass up very often tonight because we're trying to stay further apart, of course. So I just managed to get my large glass tonight. This is what we're going to be introducing at the Victoria Inn soon, I'm sure. The 1 litre glass. It saves us having to go to the bar quite so often, so I'm sure we'll all be taking part in 1 litre glasses very soon. Right, good evening to Robin Miller and the gang from PRS. Good evening to you all. PRS won Wednesday night's quiz, so they're a team red hot form, and let's see whether we can give them something to think about tonight. Squeaky Bob, hi, Tracy here. Neil in the kitchen again, is he? He's not cooking again, is he, Tracy? He's always in the kitchen. Has he got a little monitor in the kitchen so he can watch the quiz while he's cooking? Or do you just keep him hidden away somewhere? Good evening to Great White from Toronto. So we've got Toronto and Chepstow here tonight. Good evening to you. What's the weather been like in Toronto? It's not been very good in Rugby in Warwickshire. It's been very grey and overcast today. It's a bit shame, and it's also gone a few degrees cooler than it was over the last month or two. But never mind. Into June. June's normally fine weather, but we had an exceptionally good May, so whether June will stay the same, we will see. Right, so good evening to Helen and Steve Valentine. Good evening to you. Hope all is well with you and your family. Yes, first round, Donna Brown, Sunday the 7th, 07T8. Should spell out 10 answers if we're lucky. Not like a Wednesday night where we normally get 13, but never mind. Nikki Bowers, hello to you. Oh, yes, what's that? We loves our grub. Are you eating after the quiz or during the quiz, or are you, well, you'll have to let me know. Right, great work. Hot 30 degrees in Toronto today. That sounds just the weather we like here. Unfortunately, we've got a dismal, what have we had today? About 15 degrees. And I'll tell you what temperature it is in my lounge at the moment. It's 23 degrees, which is perfectly adequate temperature to be in. Good evening, Andrew Lewis, and all from Yelvertoft. Hope you are doing well. Ian, good evening to you. Harry June, Ian Gerund. I like that. I still haven't got my preamplifier working, by the way, so I might text you afterwards. I've had every component off the board, back on again. Still can't get the damn thing working, but never mind. Evening to Stuart Colwell. How are you tonight, Stuart? And what are you drinking? I'm on the magnificent atomic lockdown tonight. I've got a litre of it to start me off. That should see me through to round 2 at least. We have Sarah Goodall. Hello, Ice Baby, the depleted team here. Tommy Crinigan is elsewhere. Oh dear, never mind, Sarah. You'll be all right without him, I'm sure. So, Squeaky Bob during. So you're going to be eating during the quiz. That's fair enough. Martin Davies has just joined us from Dunchurch. Good evening to you, Martin. I hope all is well with you. And Tina. And God knows what you've been up to. You may have been out fishing again, I suppose. I don't know, but we'll see. Carol Jackson's just joined us with the Home Alone gang. No, not Home. Yes, there's the Home Alone 6 from Crick and Oakham. Lovely to see our friends from Oakham join us as well, or join Carol's team anyway. Stuart Colwell, He's on tea tonight. Right, Stuart, you're having a day off beer? That's fair enough. I'm starting my beer holiday tomorrow, apparently, so we'll see. Graham Gifford, Graham and June here. I trust they're signing in from Cambridge, so good evening to you. John Potter, hi, Fu Manchu. Oh, Fu Manchu. It says Fu Manchu. That's my shirt. I've got my lucky quizzing shirt on tonight. It's only lucky for me. I only wear it basically as when I'm a quiz master because it means I don't get so many questions wrong. But we'll see. Graham Gifford, Nick, why are you in 4x3 and not 16x9? That is a very good question. Now that is a good question. I have no idea. It can't be my camera settings, can it? Possibly can. I'll have a look at that, Graham. I've never even thought of that. Does it come up? I presume it comes up on everybody's screen as 4x3, does it? In which case, I'll have a look at that and try and figure that out for next week. Good evening to Mike Yates, who's just signed in. Good evening, Mike. Hope all is well with you. Let's have a fair competition tonight. We've got Chris Mead signing in. Chris, what's your team name tonight? I'll be interested in tonight. Mick Roberts has just signed in with Bev. Good evening to you. I hope all is well with you, Mick. And you're enjoying yourselves, having a good day, even if it hasn't been particularly good. I went around my mother-in-law's this afternoon. My wife tasked me with the job of putting a handrail up for her because her sight is failing a little bit and she's feeling a little bit scared of going out on the back patio. So I went along with my hammer drill and took half an hour trying to put 4 raw plugs in, but never mind. A particularly hard brick, that was the problem. That's what I blame. Even though it's probably my drill, really. I need a new one, but well, I know I need a more powerful one for that kind of job, but never mind. Right, good evening, Jackie. And good evening, Ian Townsend. The Foreskins have just signed in now, are in trouble. Have Don Quixote and the gang. Ian Anti James from the Don Quixote. And John O'Rourke's just signed in. Good evening, John. Hope as well with you. Have you got your full team out tonight? Because they could all be in trouble if you've got your full team out tonight. As another team to watch for. Full marks tonight, I'm sure, for most teams. I can't see any reason tonight why we won't have a team that gets them all right tonight. Mind you, I always say that. There's always one or two that will trip you up, I'm sure, but never mind. Right, we shall just wait for other people to log in before we get started. We have another 7 minutes before kickoff, so to speak. The first round tonight, as I'd mentioned earlier, is entitled Sunday the 7th. The first letters of the first answers, of the 10 answers, basically spell out the word Sunday, followed by 07, followed by the letters TH, Sunday the 7th. Right, just had Ruth Foss for Spoonfish and the Greys are all logged in. Good evening to you, Ruth, and I hope all is well with you all. And I hope you've all had a decent day. Never mind, it's quiz time now. That can suddenly go downhill, can't it, as soon as it's quiz time. I don't know. Oh, Chili Willie's just signed. Good evening, Chili. Hope all is well with you. Oh, you've got Joe and Chili now. There's a strong team if ever I saw one. No problem tonight, Chili. You'll be able to get all these, I'm sure. Chris Speaks just signed in. Good evening, Chris. Now, there's Chris. Did you win on Wednesday, Chris, or was it last week? I don't know. Or was it last Sunday you won? I think Chris did. Chris and his team. So there's another team to look out for. We've got plenty of contenders for top place tonight. We'll see. What's Jackie Skip drinking? I'm drinking Snowball. Merry Christmas. Isn't that equal parts lemonade and avocado? Snowball, isn't it? Something like that. Possibly with a dash of something, but never mind. My wife has been busy making mojitos for herself and my daughter Lydia. So if the scoring's not coming up very fast in the right-hand column, or the answers, you'll know why, because she's been on the mojitos all night long, but never mind. She is driving, so she's not allowed to have more than at least one. Right then. Oh, yes, Chris Speak. Here we are. Last Sunday. So he did win the quiz last Sunday. So come on, Chris. Let's see whether you can make it 2 in a row tonight. We had, as I said, PRS won Wednesday night's quiz with some very close call. There were about 3 or 4 teams just 1 point behind, I think, on Wednesday night's quiz. Right, Mark Gannerton signing in, accompanied with a pint of Moongazer Pintail takeout from the local pub. Excellent. How many hours does your pub open then, Mark, to get carry-outs? Presumably just a couple of hours. Is it on a Sunday, or do they do every day of the week, or what? We've been delivering beer, which probably seems easier than opening the pub, and it probably is easier than sitting in the pub waiting for people to turn up. But it still takes some time, and I'm sure my mate Keith will tell you all about that because he's been delivering them all the time. Right then, just a few minutes to go. Let me just run through the rounds again. We've now got 80-odd people logged on, 80-odd teams ready to go. As I mentioned earlier, round number 1 tonight is called Sunday the 7th. Round number 2 tonight, that's an interesting round one I haven't done before. This is called Rhyming Pairs. Rhyming Pairs, there are 10 answers, 5 of which rhyme with the other 5. So the answer rhymes with another one in the round, or just about. I'm famous for my rhyming rounds, as Martin Davis and a few of the other teams will let you know. They don't always rhyme quite as much as most people would think they'd rhyme, but never mind. So Mark Gannerton's just telling me that their pub opens 10 until 5, Monday to Saturday. That's just to serve carryouts and things. That seems a long time to stay open doing that kind of thing. Never mind, I presume they live on the premises. Katie Partridge has just signed in. Our team name is Nick Squiz. Well, that's what I like to see. Nice to see Katie. Nick Squiz. I like that one. Never mind. Let's see whether you can win tonight then, especially with a name like that. Should be no problem whatsoever. We've just had the Quizzy Rascals. Again, former winners of this quiz on 2 or 3 occasions, the Quizzy Rascals. So let's see how they can fare tonight. Anthony Ridgway and the Ridgways have just signed in from Welton near Rugby. And we have just had the, oh, yes, we've got Dave Farmer and the gang, Dave Cater here. Just 2 of this week, enjoying Brunswick White Feather. That's a fabulous beer. I haven't had that for a while, I have to say. But where did you manage to get that from, Dave? I'd be interested to know where you got that. Right, we just had Jill Pugh sign in. This is from Cambridge. Hi to you and Steve tonight. Hope all is well. And I hope the weather has been better than it has been in Rugby, but probably not. I expect you've just had exactly the same. Right, PRS are now, I've got a full team. They have got Claire, Robin and Matthew all signed in. Mark Gannerton was just telling me they sell, what's this? Post office has been open too, 5 days a week. Not fair play. Jenny Coulson has just signed in. Nice to see you, Jen. Hope all is well with you. And let's see how you can fare tonight. Right, just a couple of minutes to go. Now, where did I get to? Round number 3 tonight. First of all, round 1 was Sunday the 7th. Round 2 was called Rhyming Pairs, which I'll explain when we get to it. Sarah's just signed in. Good evening, Sarah. How are you? All right? I hope all is well with you. Now we've had Carrie Mitchell just sign in. Weather's great as usual in Minehead. Well, it's got to be better than it was in Rugby today. Never mind. I hope it's still grey out there. So it said that I was watching the weather forecast and hopefully it was all going the other side. My brother Greg has just signed in. Good evening, Greg. Hope your backside isn't hurting too much. Greg, if anybody doesn't know, I did mention he'd done a cycle ride from Rugby to Old Trafford in Manchester, about 100 and, can't remember actually, but it was 100 off. It was a virtual ride, yes. He did it on his his exercise bike, but even so, he's been on that exercise bike for many an hour over the last 2 days, and I'm sure he's just sitting down enjoying a rest. So well done, Greg. And I know Greg's raised a couple of £1,000 on his Just Giving page for his charity. Right, we've had Alex Brown. Me and Mum are ready. Right, great. Nice to see Alex Brown just signed in. Hope all is well with you. Footy Fox 86, Charlotte and Matt from Rugby here. Good evening, Charlotte. Good evening, Matt. Hope you're all ready. Huddled round, got your beer and everything ready. We are just about ready to kick off. I'll give it another 30 seconds just to explain what the last couple of rounds are, and then we'll get ourselves going. So, round number 1, entitled Sunday the 7th. Round number 2 is Rhyming Pairs. Round number 3, we have a music round. Round number 4, we've got a famous Willies round, something to do with Willies. Round number 5 is called an initial letter link round, where there's a link with the answer number 10. And round number 6 is just general trivia to finish you off. Right then, we've just had Leslie Barrett just joined us. Good evening, Sif, and I hope all is well with you. Are you doing the quiz on your own, or have you got somebody else in your team with you tonight? Be interested to know. Right, we are just about 100 teams now signed in. So without further ado, we will kick off with round number 1. If I can find it on my screen. Oh, Dean Johnson, yes, the rest of the Don Quixote team have just signed in now from sunny South London. Well, it's sunnier than it is here. grey old rugby at the moment, but never mind. Right, do remember this round, basically, I've given you the first letters. They follow the word Sunday, the 7th. And we start off with the letter S. So question number 1, are we ready? Eyes down, look in. Question number 1, in the Olympic 3,000 metre steeplechase race, how many times must the runners negotiate the water jump? Now, there can't be many. There's a possible one of 2, I would have thought. So, in the Olympic 3,000 metre steeplechase race, how many times must the runners negotiate the water jump? It's got to start with the letter S, remember, and it's certainly not as high as 16 or 17. Ah, right. That's better. Right, round number 2, starting with the letter U. U for umbrella. What is the name of a long bone found in the forearm that stretches from the elbow to the smallest finger? So what is the name of the long bone found in the forearm that stretches from the elbow to the smallest finger? Come on, I'm sure you're all keeping up with this. No problem at all. All you quizzers will all know that one, I'm sure. So it sounds as if the south of the country have got some good weather at the moment, as well as Toronto, of course. It's been 30 degrees in Toronto, so they must have had some sun there, at least, I'm sure. And it sounds like sunny South London, so South London's bathing in sunshine, probably as we speak. And so is Minehead, by the looks of things. They probably have good weather all day long. It's just this miserable cloud we've got across the Midlands at the moment, but never mind. Didn't do charging my car up any good today, but never mind. That can wait for another day. Right then, question number 3. What is the first name of the grandson of Ronnie Barker's iconic character, Norman Stanley Fletcher, who is played by Kevin Bishop? So question 3 again, listen carefully. What is the first name of the grandson of Ronnie Barker's iconic character, Norman Stanley Fletcher, who is played by Kevin Bishop? If it's any help, it's not Nick. It's got to start with the letter N, remember. Friends from Toronto, they're just reminding us, he says, bloody cold winters, but blistering summers. Well, that's fair play, isn't it? I don't know. Can't have it always round, can you? What about March time? Does it, or has still got lots of snow around in March? I don't know. Right then, question number 4. This has got to start with the letter D. Known as Bacchus by the Romans, who is the Greek god of the grape harvest, winemaking, fertility, and ritual madness. So known as Bacchus by the Romans, who is the Greek god of the grape harvest, winemaking, fertility, and ritual madness. See, they even had madness back then. Still got plenty of mad people, but never mind. Are you managing to sit comfortable, Greg Pugh? Just checking, making sure you're not having to shuffle about all the time, you know. I trust you've had a long bath after you've finished or something, just to soothe the parts, but never mind. Question number 5. Listen carefully. It's got to start with the letter A. Remember, what is an ancient citadel located on an extremely rocky outcrop above the city of Athens and contains the remains of several ancient buildings of great architectural and historic significance? It's just a one-word answer I'm after, really. You can drop the word the. So question 5 again, what is an ancient citadel located on an extremely rocky outcrop above the city of Athens and contains the remains of several ancient buildings of great architectural and historic significance? A lot of shuffling going on. Oh dear. I'm shuffling just thinking about it, Greg, I have to say, but never mind. Right, question number 6. Listen carefully. Fearing for his life, Soviet officials permanently banned whom from further space flights due to the failure of Soyuz 1 after the descent module crashed into the ground due to a parachute failure. So question 6 again. Fearing for his life, Soviet officials permanently banned whom for further space flights due to the failure of Soyuz 1 after the descent module crashed into the ground due to a parachute failure. They were as bad as the Americans. Apollo 1 didn't fare much better. Always remember, if you're ever an astronaut, never go on number 1. Apollo 1 didn't do very well. Neither did Soyuz 1. That didn't do very well either. Always wait until at least 7 or 8 till I got it sorted out a bit, you know. That's just in case any of you are thinking of becoming the next person to go to Mars or something. Remember one. Right, question number 7. This has got to start with the number, or the digit 0. How is the fraction 7/25 represented in the decimal numbering system? It's a pretty easy one to work out. So how is the fraction 7/25 represented in the decimal numbering system? Write it down. I'm sure we can all work that one out. Yeah, well, that's another one, Willie. You know, the Americans didn't seem fazed by calling Apollo 13 13, did they? They might change their minds with further missions. Oh dear. Now, God knows who would get this one right, but I've given you a second half of the question to make it a lot easier for you. So listen carefully. Number 8, this has got to start with the number 7. In international curling competitions, how long is each side given to complete all of its throws? Now, come on, does anybody really know that? Interesting if you do. It is the same number used with the term under the lucky tree by bingo callers. Remember, it's got to start with a 7. So in international curling competitions, how long is each side given to complete all of its throws? It is the same number used with the term under the lucky tree by bingo callers, which kind of gives it away a bit. Does anybody know that? No, I'll come back to that in a bit. Right, question number 9's got to start with the letter T. Well known for its distinctive triangular prism shape, which chocolate bar is produced in Bern in Switzerland? Yeah, Ian's off for a curry already. Great. So question 9 again. Well known for its distinctive triangular prism shape, which chocolate bar is produced in Bern in Switzerland? And finally, question number 10. I hope I'm not hurrying. Starting with the letter H, which makes this one fairly straightforward. Question number 10, along with the Spitfire, what was the principal aircraft used by the RAF in the Battle of Britain? So question number 10, along with the Spitfire, what was the principal aircraft used by the RAF in the Battle of Britain? And drop the word the. Right, there are our first 10 questions. Nothing too testing there, most of which I'm sure you'll be able to work out. Even if you didn't first off get the curling question, but never mind. I'm sure we can come back to that one. Now, my glass is about half empty, so half a round. I mean, that's not too bad, is it? If you only drink half each round, that's not too bad. The fact that it's a litre is a different matter, but never mind. Right then, does anybody need further time, or are we happy to do some marking after that round? How are you faring, Ange? You got all your answers in? No, we're still waiting on one or two. Anybody need any further time? Just let me know. Put it in the chat column if you can. I think most people can chat now quite happily. I will look into that question, why I'm not in widescreen, because I do appear in trim being 4:3. More time, right? I will give you some more time. It's probably obviously because of the delay between England and Canada, you need more time. What's that? You need to get a bigger glass. Well, I was thinking of introducing this, Chris, as the small glass. So this will be the new half pint, which is in fact a litre. And then we'll have a 2-litre glass, a proper size glass. And yeah, we could just make that a pitcher, I suppose. And yes, it's not going to be easy, is it? Dear God. But we'll see. We'll see. We're a few weeks away yet from reopening pubs. We haven't had the nod from Boris yet, have we, and the gang? But I think they're getting worried about the economy and they need to get things moving and make sure that we're not all unemployed forever. But whatever your thoughts on the situation, it doesn't help the fact that we're closed at the moment, whatever. But never mind. Right then, great white. We are just thick. I don't believe that for a minute. I don't believe that for a minute. Right then. Let's go back to the beginning and we will do some marking after round 1. I can bring it back up again. Right, starting with the letter S. The Olympic 3,000 metre steeplechase race. How many times must the runners negotiate? The water jump, that's 7 times. 7 times. Number 2, what is the name of the long bone found in the forearm? That's the ulnar. The ulnar. Number 3, what is the first name of the grandson of Ronnie Barker's iconic character, Norman Stanley Fletcher? He was in the subsequent series and he played Nigel. Number 4, known as Bacchus. The Greek god was Dionysus. Number 5, I wanted the Acropolis, or Acropolis was what I was after. Number 6, fearing for his life, Soviet officials permanently banned Yuri Gagarin from going into space because he was a national hero and they didn't want him killed. Otherwise, the Americans probably would have laughed or something stupid, but never mind. The fraction 7/25 is represented as 0.28. Number 8, the international curling competitions. How long is each side given to complete all its throws? It's 73 minutes. But I was after the number 73. It was the same number used for the Lucky Tree by bingo callers. Number 8, that chocolate bar is, of course, a Toblerone. And finally, number 10, the aircraft alongside the Spitfire, starting with the letter H, was the Hurricane. So let's see, let's get some scores in. I'm sure we've got some full marks after round number 1. Not too tricky, not too much to catch you out with that round, I trust. Come on, then, let's have some scores in, see how you're faring. Leslie Barrett with a rubbish 8. Great White with a 10. You see, he didn't need more time. Chilly Willy with a 10. Rugby Road Club with a 9. Dropped a point there. I don't quite know how they did that. Michelle Gibbons with a 9. We have Don Quixote in the game with 10. Matt, me and Donna Brown. Matt and me got 9. Callie Mitchell with 7. We have Jenny Graham and friends with a 9. Martin Davis with a 7. Chris Beak with an 8. We've got Foreskins with a 9. Mike Yates with an 8. The famous 5 with a 10. Mick Roberts with an 8. Sarah Goodall, Ice Baby with an 8. Graham Gifford with an 8. Sarah with a fantastic 10 all the way from Worcester. Anthony Ridgway with a 9. We've got Spoonfish and the Greys are on 9. Footy Fox are on 9. Kate Partridge on 9. Mark Anderson, oh dear Mark, what went wrong there? A dismal 5. Andrew Lewis with 8. Carol Jackson Home Alone, a 10 out of 10. Great start. Nikki Bowers on 8. Helen and Steve Valentine on 9. Ian Sharrett, Ian and Julie are on fantastic 10 there. Squeaky Pob's on 10. Pinky and Perky are on 7. We got 6, a poor show from Alex Brown. He's first to admit that, as is Stuart with a 6. We've got Jackie Skip, Booby Prize Girls with a 9. PRS, Wednesday's winner on a fantastic 10. The Quizzy Rascals on 10. Split the Difference are on 10. Gillian Pugh from Cambridge on 9. Val Barnes, good job, you know your bingo, Paula. Right. Roger Griffiths is on a 6. Greg Pugh with a fantastic 10. We've got Lockdown Derby on a fantastic 10 as well. Of course, they should have all been in Derby this weekend, shouldn't you, I think, Keith? Never mind. Just enjoy the beer and get on with it. That's all I say. Have you got the lads round tonight? Or are you all social distancing somewhere? We'll see. Right, some great scores from that first round. So we've got a number of teams on full points. Unfortunately, we have one or two on 5s and 6s, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know. It's difficult to judge how hard or easy they are, I suppose. Right then, round number 2 is called rhyming pairs. There are 10 answers. 5 answers rhyme with the other 5 answers. The thing is, I don't tell you which ones rhyme with which. You've got to work it out, okay? So as soon as you get an answer that rhymes with another one, that's what you're after, basically. So there are 10 straightforward general knowledge questions. 5 of the answers rhyme with the other 5. Does anybody not understand that, or is that too difficult to understand? You'll get the idea as we go along. So, question 1, are we ready? Eyes down, look in. This is off the TV show Little Britain. What is the first name of the character played by Matt Lucas, who feigns the need for a wheelchair and uses catchphrases like, "Yeah, I know. I want that one. I don't like it." That's the kind of way he speaks anyway, something like that. So in the TV show Little Britain, what is the first name of the character played by Matt Lucas, who feigns the need for a wheelchair and uses catchphrases like, "Yeah, I know. I want that one. And I don't like it." Sorry about that. I could be him. I think one of his funniest sketches was when he went to the swimming bars and got out his wheelchair and got in the swimming pool, dived off the top board, got back in his wheelchair, and nobody really noticed, but never mind. Oh, Chris Pickard's just dialed in at a score of 8 there with a pint of Oakham Black Hole Porter. Very nice, Chris. Very nice indeed. Right then. Now remember, that one-word answer has got to rhyme with another one somewhere in this lot. But I'm not telling you where. Question number 2. Appearing in the closing bandstand scene of every episode, what foodstuff did Tony Antonio sell on the TV show Trumpton? Don't think too long about it. It's fairly straightforward. So appearing in the closing bandstand scene of every episode, what foodstuff did Tony Antonio sell on the TV show Trumpton? Hey, what she put? It's me and my son when he takes off out of his wheelchair in Blackpool. People's reactions are great. Oh dear. I know that one. Oh dear. Well, I hope you got his name then. Now that's just to help you as a 2-word answer you need for that. And just remember that rhymes with a further answer somewhere down the column as you go. Question number 3. One for all you musicians. Andrew Lloyd Webber's brother Julian is best known for playing which musical instrument? I know 2 people will get that straight away. Carol Jackson, of course, classical expert. Nick Roberts will know that one, and so should my mate Keith know that one. We used to sell his CDs, unfortunately. And so should Andrew, my brother-in-law. So Andrew Lloyd Webber's brother Julian is best known for playing which musical instrument? Question number 4 is a bit tricky, one you might need to think about. Often resulting in an itchy rash when skin comes into contact with things such as coins, jewellery and belt buckles, what metal is regarded as the most common metallic allergen? It's a one-word answer. So often resulting in an itchy rash when skin comes into contact with things such as coins, jewellery or belt buckles, what metal is regarded as the most common metallic allergen? It's a one-word answer. It's not mercury. I think that'll kill you. Now remember, that's got to rhyme with something as well. So don't be disheartened if you don't get that one straight away. Question number 5 is a 2-word answer. It's a bit tricky when you first listen to it, but think carefully. What 2-word phrase, meaning an unrealistic hope or dream, originated from the fact that people smoking opium would often experience fantasies? Yeah, shame it's not gold. Yeah, stop the women buying it, wouldn't it? So question 5 again. What 2-word phrase, meaning an unrealistic hope, originates from the fact that people smoking opium would often experience fantasies? It's a 2-word answer. I've actually given you one of the words in the question there, if you look at the question. Well, this beer's going down well, I have to say, whilst you're all struggling trying to figure out what the answers of these ridiculous questions are. Do you know we've got through 21 quizzes now? That's averaging 6 rounds, so God knows what that is. And 10, 6 is 600 times 21. What's that? 600. No, it can't be 600. Yes, it can. Lots of answers, lots of questions. Anyway, I'll work it out in a minute and see how many questions I've asked over the last. I don't think we're repeating one. I might have had one similar, but never mind. Yeah, about 1,200 questions so far. So well played if you've got most of those. And there's a lot of people that have got a good 12,600. I think it's 21 weeks, 6 rounds by 10. Although the first few weeks I did 5 rounds, but never mind. Which works out at, I think it's 1,200. Not anyway. Whatever, Willie. Never mind. Chili. Willie. Right. Question number 6. Listen carefully. First created back in 1957, the year of my birth, and meaning something rather large. What is the name of Burger King's signature hamburger product? You should get that one. So first created back in 1957, year of my birth, and meaning something rather large. What is the name of Burger King's signature hamburger product? Come on, you can all get that one. Now, do remember that's got to rhyme with something. Question number 7, for all you people that read either the newspaper or magazines, what is the main colour of the scarf that Rupert Bear is normally seen wearing? So what is the main colour of the scarf that Rupert Bear is normally seen wearing? It's only a single colour I'm after. And it's the colour of the rainbow, which might help. Now, do remember that's got to rhyme with another answer somewhere. Question number 8 might be a little bit old for some people. Saga question, as Keith would say. You might remember some of these. Tricky Dicky, Beryl the Peril, and Danny's Tranny, which was about a transistor radio, I'll have you know, were all cover stars of which British comic that ran from 1953 to 1990? So, Tricky Dicky, Beryl the Peril, and Danny's Tranny were all cover stars of which British comic that ran from 1953 to 1990? Do remember that's got to rhyme with something. What's that? Nice and easy. Very possible. Question number 9. What tool for cutting grass and grain crops features alongside a hammer on the symbol of the former Soviet Union? So what tool for cutting grass and grain crops featured alongside a hammer on the symbol of the former Soviet Union? Now that does rhyme with one of your previous answers. But which one? And finally, question number 10. Don't overthink this. We have this at many quizzes. Which alcoholic spirit has a name that's derived from a Dutch term meaning burnt wine? So which alcoholic spirit has a name that is derived from a Dutch term meaning burnt wine? Now that one-word answer has got to rhyme with one of the others. So you're now looking, scratching your heads, thinking, I've only got 3 that rhyme. Just work out the others. That's all you've got to do. I know it's a bit of a tricky round, but never mind. This will sort a few out. See whether we've got any 10 out of 10s after this round. Oh dear. Actually, I'm doing quite well for the beer. It's still there, going at the end of round 2, although I might have to go for a quick refill. My daughter's leapt up. Well, she's got up. I don't know about leapt up. She's got up to help me out with that. Never mind. Right, remember, 5 of the answers have got to rhyme with the other 5. Do we need all the questions are down in the chat column on the right hand side? Thank you. And I will give you a little bit more time because this is one you need to work these out. It's a little bit more like a crossword puzzle, this one, but never mind. Robert Crinigan, where's question 8? Where is question 8, Lids? 9. Oh yes, question 8's missing. Well, I will read it to you, Robert. Listen carefully. My daughter will put it online for you. Tricky Dicky, Beryl the Peril, and Danny's Tranny, which is about a transistor radio, surprisingly, were all cover stars of which British comic that ran from 1953 to 1990. Of course, most of the youngsters won't remember the transistor radio when everybody in the 70s bought one. You used to get your tranny out and stick it by your ear hole and listen to Top of the Pops every week. Robert Crinigan. Okay, that's great. Why is your name separated with Robert Crin Egan? Robert Crin Egan. But never mind. That's probably the name on your computer. Maybe not. Right, do we need any more time? We've worked them all out. Have you worked them all out, Anne? Oh, no, not really. Oh, dear. That means I will give another minute then. Let's give you another minute to sort them out. Oh, Greg did have a good soak in the bath. I'm just reading your message, Greg. Greg Pugh had a good soak in the bath. Seems to have helped. Good. I'm sure it does. Identity theft. What's that? Enjoying a bottle of Chimay Grand Reserve. Very good, Greg. That sounds excellent. Have you got all these answers so far? Do you need any more time? I'm going to give everybody another minute and that's it. And then we're going to do some marking after this round. We'll never get on with this quiz, will we? We should have all worked them out by now, right? That's another 40 seconds. I've lost my time now together. No. Oh, go away. I don't know where it is now. Oh, there it is. Right. Oh, it hasn't stopped since the last time I used it. 194 hours ago. For the reset. Right then, everybody. Ian's just signing in. Ian, we have just finished round 2, but good evening to you. A little late, but never mind. It'll take you a little bit too long to work that one out. Another minute for Googling, guys. Be quick, right? Okay, come on then. Let's go through the answers. That probably means you're happy with your answers. Right then, here we go. Rhyming pairs. We started off in the TV show Little Britain. What's the first name of the character played by Matt Lucas even? Sorry. That was Andy, as in Andy Pipkin. Andy was his first name. Number 2, appearing in the closing bandstand scene of every episode, what foodstuff did Tony Antonio sell? Well, Italians tend to sell things like ice cream. Ice cream was what I was after. Number 3, Andrew Lloyd Webber, of course, Brother Julian, played the cello. Number 4, often resulting in itchy rashes when it comes into contact with the skin. Which metal is the most common metallic allergen? That's nickel. Well done if you got nickel. Number 5, what 2-word phrase meaning an unrealistic hope or dream originated with the fact that people smoking opium would often experience fantasies. It was called a pipe dream, a pipe dream. Well done if you worked that out. And that, of course, rhymed with ice cream loosely. And number 6 was the Whopper. That's signature dish from Burger King. Number 7, what is the main colour of the scarf of Rupert Bear? That's yellow. That, of course, rhymed with cello, which goes back a little bit earlier. Tricky Dicky, Beryl the Peril, and Danny's Tranny, all cover stars for the Topper, that old magazine. That, of course, rhymed with Whopper, which we've just had from the burger. The cutting tool that I wanted was the sickle, which, of course, rhymes with nickel from a previous answer. And finally, number 10, burnt wine was basically a name given to brandy. Brandy, which, of course, rhymed with Andy. Question number 1 and question number 10. So you will see question 1 rhymes with question 10 and so on and so forth. So let's see how you fared. That was a tricky round. It was one you had to sit and work out. However, we have Great White with 20. We have Chilly Willy with 20 points. Chris Speak on 18 points. So, yeah, the teams did work it out. Well done, you. Leslie Barrett on 18. We got Squeaky Bob on 20. Martin Davis on 17. Home Alone with 20. Don Quixote with 20. Sarah's with 20. We got the Rugby Road Club with 19. Ian Miller on 17. Helen and Steve Valentine 17. Donna Brown on 18. Mark Gunnington on 12. Carrie Mitchell on 15. Gillian Pugh on 7. We've got Ice Ice Baby 18. Anthony Ridgway 19. Famous Five on 20. We've got Foreskins on 19, Mick Roberts on 16, Graham Griffiths on 15, Pink and Purple on 17, Spoonfish and the Grazer on 18, Katie Partridge with a 3, Michelle Gibbons on 17, Roger Griffiths with 15, Gillian Pugh number 2 is on 16, Footy Fox 86 on 16, Stuart Colwell's on 14, Mike Yates on 16, split the difference with a good 20. Adrian Lewis on 15, Ian Miller on 7, PRS on 20 points, and the Quizzy Rascals on 20 points. Ian Sherritt, Harry, Julian, Ian on 19 points. Jenny Graham and friends on 17. Chucky Skip, Booby Prize Girls on 17. Nikki Bowers on 15. Alex Brown on 13. Paul and Eve JR on a fantastic 17 points. Have we got any more? Chris Pickard's yet to come in. We haven't got a key score yet. However, Greg Pugh, 19 points, not bad. If you're suffering with a backside problem at the moment. But anyway, sorry, Greg, I won't go on any more about your backside. Chris Pickard with 17. Yes, he's been cycling a long, long way, but I did tell everybody earlier. But I hope they were taking that all in. And we've got Lockdown Derby on 19 points. Very well done. I'm trying to figure out which one you wouldn't have got. Perhaps Topper. That's a bit old for you boys, but never mind. The Top, what a great. Beryl the Peril. You must remember Beryl the Peril. Or Danny the Tranny. That's even better. Sorry. I titter, and I must not titter. Right, so most of the scores are in, or virtually all the scores are in. Round number 3 is a music round. I don't normally do music rounds because I'm not particularly good at music rounds, but never mind. Let's see how we all fare. It's just a cross-section of stuff, so let's see how we fare. Question 1 is pretty straightforward. Which small... I remember Beryl the Peril. Well done, Mike. Yeah, which small stringed musical instrument's name literally means jumping flea in Hawaiian? Come on, that's a good old quiz question. I think I was on the chase only a few weeks back. So, which small stringed musical instrument's name literally means jumping flea in Hawaiian? Right, question number 2 is an anagram. So you need to write this down. It's 4 words. He, H-E, humps Humps. So he humps skimping, Skimping. He humps skimping ants, Ants. He humps skimping ants is an anagram of which three-word American alternative rock band from Chicago, which were formed in 1988 by frontman Billy Corgan. So he humps skimping ants is an anagram of which three-word American alternative rock band from Chicago, who were formed in 1988 by frontman Billy Corgan. I think that's what his name was anyway. That name, by the way, is normally a three-word name. It can be a two-word name. It needs to be three words for the anagram, of course. Of course, Tracy will get that, Chilly Willy, straight away. Have you got it? Thumbs up from Willie. I mean, Chilly. Why do I keep calling you Willie, Chilly? We've got a Willie round coming up. That's what it is. Come on, Leslie. You'll get it. Come on, Arsif. I haven't. Rearranged the letters. Name of a band. Right then. Question number 3. Listen carefully. In the David Bowie song Space Oddity, the first thing that ground control tells Major Tom to do is to take what type of pills? So in the lyrics, basically. So in the David Bowie song Space Oddity, the first thing that ground control tells Major Tom to do is to take what type of pills? It's a one-word answer, really. Yeah, make that a one-word answer. The boobies are looking forward to the willy round. I don't think we need the boobies talking about willies, do we? Faye, you're bringing the standard of the quiz to rock bottom again. Not that I do. What's that? Oh, and no, sorry, Lydia reckons I ought to do a booby round. We'll see about that. I've been trying to come up with some more Uranus questions, but we can't come up. I can't think of many. Yeah, I'm flogging a dead horse with that one. Sorry. Right, question number 4. What's that? The people are looking great, like changing our team down to buttocks. Carry on, Faye. Sorry, question number 4. Listen carefully. Which Canadian rapper dated singer Rihanna on and off from 2009 to 2016? He has mentioned the relationship in every one of his studio albums. So which Canadian rapper dated singer Rihanna on and off from 2009 to 2016? He has mentioned the relationship in every one of his studio albums. Just a one-word answer I'm after there. If we have a booby round, I think we will be bust. Oh dear, dear, dear. I knew we shouldn't have started that, but never mind that. We shall be under the name But Nuts. Dear God. Been on the 19 Crimes Uprising with my Sunday roast now on Gentleman Jackson Coke. fair play. Oh dear, dear. Come on, Leslie. Have you not worked out? I didn't think this round would suit you, but never mind. Question number 5. This will suit you more, Sif. Listen carefully. Which German city and former capital, which straddles the River Rhine, was Ludwig van Beethoven born in the December of 1770? We'll keep abreast of it. Dear. I don't like modern music. Well, that's a tricky one, isn't it, Sif? So question 5 again. Which German city and former capital which straddles the River Rhine was Ludwig van Beethoven born in the December of 1770? Yes, that's not too modern. You'll be pleased with that one. Question number 6, Sif. Come on, you'll get this one if you think carefully. Question 6. Drummer Zach Starkey, who has performed with The Who and Oasis, is the son of which other famous drummer? Come on, you'll get that one. What's that, Robert? I know you've been there. Yeah. Robin's been there. His birthplace is opposite the Jack Wolfskin shop. What do they sell? Wolfskin or something, or what? Why is it called the Jack Wolfskin shop? So drummer Zach Starkey, who has performed with The Who and Oasis, is the son of which other famous drummer? Pretty straightforward, that one. Question number 7 takes a little bit of thought, but even Sif, you might get this one as well. Name either one of the only 2 songs to have been entered into the Eurovision Song Contest by the United Kingdom to have topped the UK singles chart despite not winning the contest. That's a tricky one. Camping stuff. Glad he said wolfskin instead of foreskin. Well, we've got the foreskins playing. They're actually a team tonight, but never mind. So question 7 again. Name either one of only 2 songs to have been entered into the Eurovision Song Contest by the UK to have topped the UK singles charts despite not winning the contest. So I only need 1. You've got a chance with that. That's a tricky question. I used to hate watching the Eurovision Song Contest. However, I used to love watching Je Suis Frontière with Eddie Waring and the gang. Oh, and was it David Hall? Who used to front that? I can't remember. It's a knockout. What a great thing that was. Oh dear. Come on, Sif. Fight back. Question number 8. Sif, you'll be able to work this one out. Even if you don't know it, you'll be able to work this one out. Question number 8. Which English indie pop band formed in 2010 took its name from the birthday of its lead vocalist, Dan Smith, who was born on the 14th of July, a famous day in European history? Stuart Hall, that was the one. Stuart Hall and Eddie Waring, they used to do it, didn't they? Yeah, he's an open. Oh no, sorry. Eddie Waring. Did he? Yeah, he did. Stuart Hall. He used to have me in stitches. He did. He got himself so excited about the competition. And wasn't it Belgium that were always worse than everybody else for some reason? Just some frontier. They were hopeless. Sorry, I digress. Question 8 again. Which English indie pop band formed in 2010 took its name from the birthday of its lead vocalist, Dan Smith, who was born on the 14th of July, a famous day in European history? Come on, Sif, you'll know that one. Not easy on your own, I have to say. Whenever you do a quiz on your own, it's impossible if you get around that you just don't know anything about. No. I would have known that. I wouldn't have known the band. Question number 9. Released in November of 1982, which album became and has continued to be the best-selling album of all time worldwide, with approximately 66 million copies now sold? You had a big clock collection. So question 9 again, released in the November of 1982, which album became and has continued to be the best-selling album of all time worldwide, with approximately 66 million copies now sold. The date kind of gives it away a little bit. Think of a particularly big album. You knew that one, didn't you, Liz? Yeah, she's smiling at my daughter knew that one. And finally, question number 10 in this tricky music round. Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail? A smile from a veil are lyrics from the opening verse of which famous song? So question 10, can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail? A smile from a veil are lyrics from the opening verse of which famous song? That should suit you as well, Sif, you'd know that one. Yeah. He's getting his coat and he's going out for a walk around the block. He's at home already, you see. So sorry, Sif. You need a team. That's what you need. Why don't you join up with PRS online or something? Do a bit of, or Chilly Willy, yes. All you got to do is get your Zoom or something going, or text each other. Right then, do we need any time, or have we worked those out? I trust the only thing that needed working out really was the anagram, of course, that band. But do we need any more time, everybody, or are we really happy? Join us if there we have it. You see, Matt's asking or telling us to join him. There we go. Chilly Willy does not need any help. No, he probably doesn't. Not about help, it's about common resources. That's what it is. Get all your brains together. That's the important thing. There may be one thing that Chilly doesn't know that you know, or vice versa. PRS. You tell them, PRS, what PRS stands for. Chilly Willy. Joe and I do. I mean, yeah, I thought that was wrong. I was going to say, who's this Ido character? Oh dear. Ido came from the Mikado or something, surely. Oh, you're not going to tell everybody what PRS stands for? Go on, tell them. But never mind. It's an old quiz team name that they had when they used to do the Victoria Ring quiz on the Sunday night. Right then, let's go through some answers to that tricky music round. I'm sure we've had enough time for that. Have we? Has anybody know? If you want a bit more time, just quickly put it in the text. Otherwise, I'm going to start with the answers. No. It's their name, I suppose. Question 1 then, here we go. Which small musical instrument literally means jumping flea? That's the ukulele. Well done if you got that. Question number 2, he humps skimping ants is an anagram of the Smashing Pumpkins. Number 3, in the David Bowie song Space Oddity, the first thing that Ground Control tells Major Tom is to take his protein pills, of course. Take your protein pills and blah, blah, blah. No, something like that. The Canadian rapper dated Rihanna. Was the only Canadian rapper I know of, full stop. He's Drake. Well done if you got Drake. Number 5, of course, the capital city I wanted, former capital city, was Bonn, where Ludwig van Beethoven was born. Number 6, drummer Zach Starkey, of course, his father, whose original name was Richard Starkey, was Ringo Starr. Well done. Oh, Robin doesn't want me singing. Number 7, name either one of only 2 songs to have been entered into the Eurovision Song Contest by the UK to have topped UK singles charts despite not winning contests. Well, one was by Cliff Richard which was known as Congratulations. So congratulations if you got that right. And the other was by Gina G. It was ooh, ah, just a little bit. So there's no double points if you get both, but you only need one of them to get a point for that. So either congratulations, you don't even need to know it's Cliff Richard, or ooh, ah, just a little bit by Gina G. Well done if you got that. That was a tricky one. Number 8, which English indie pop band formed in 2010? Well, everybody knows the 14th of July, Bastille Day, famous European history. So the band was Bastille, of course. Number 9, the biggest selling album of all time, with approximately 66 million copies now sold worldwide, is Thriller. Thriller by Michael Jackson. And finally, number 10, can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Oh, how I wish you were here. I wish you were here by Pink Floyd. So well done if you got that. That was a tricky one. Right then, let's have some scores in. So how you fared. Clearly, Leslie Barrett's not too happy with that round, but never mind. I'm sure he would have got 3 or 4 all the same. So let's see how you've all fared. Ian Miller, very good. 9 on that round. He's got 2 rounds missing, so we could average the scores out and give him another whatever. Chilly Willy, fantastic. 9 with 29. Sarah, very good. 28. We got Great White on 29. Chris Beaks, 26. Anthony Ridgway with 27. Mick Roberts with 20. Home Alone. Carol Jackson on the gang on 29. Michelle Gibbons on 26. The Foreskins are on 28. The Booby Pros girls are on 25. We have Katie Partridge, 4. Katie, you need to add up your total scores, not the round scores, but never mind. Brad Gifford's on 24, Donna Brown and Matt on 25 points. We've got Martin Davis. Oh, dear, dear. I know music doesn't suit you, Martin, but never mind. I'm sure Tina helped a bit. 23 points. However, we've got Don Quixote, 30 points. Nothing wrong with that. Famous 5 on 29. Stuart Colwell's on 21. Roger Griffiths, 21. We've got Spoonfish and the Greys on 26 points. Squeaky Bob, 29 points. Crash, Burn and Dissolved in Acid on 23 points. He's just changed his name quickly there. No, he hasn't. Ian and Julie and Ian on 29 points. PRS on 29 points. Paul, Eve and Jay on 26 points. We've got the Quizzy Rascals on 29 points. Greg Pugh, 28 points. Footy Fox, 86, 22 points. Gillian Pugh on 20 points. Obviously don't know the music very well. Nikki Bowers on 21.5, 21.5 points. We've got Mark Garrington, 21 points. Carrie Mitchell on 22 points. Rugby Roach Club, 28 points. Look out for them. We've got Mike Yates, 22 points. Very good. Sarah Goodall, Ice Ice Baby on 28 points. Look out for her as well. Diane Alex, Pinky and Perky on 25. We have Adrian Lewis on 22 points. Alex Brown on 21 points. Split the difference on 30 points at the moment. Well done, Anthony, guessing you were on your own on that round. Well done, Hillary, for reminding him. Helen and Steve Valentine on 25 points. We've got the Derby Lockdown boys on 29 points, and girls. And we've got Jenny Graham and friends, 27. Chris Peckard on a very respectable 24 points. No, PRS does not stand for please read slowly. No, it's not. Oh, dear God. Right then. Round number 4 is all famous Willies. Alex Brown. What's that? Where your dad? Alex Brown. Ian Miller. Alex Brown, you were your dad. Right, sorry. Yes, it could be particularly reticent swats. It could be. Yes, that's actually not that's not bad at all. They might allow you to. No, it wasn't painful rectal sores, Robin. You're lying now. Right then, not to give your name away, let's keep it a secret, just between us. Is this a picture round? No, it's not a picture round. Unfortunately not. But never mind. Off down the cellar to put a new beer on. Ooh, excellent. Blimey, you've got your own cellar, Chris. That sounds good. Particularly regurgitated sausages. No, that doesn't sound... Right then, Famous Willies. Are we ready? Famous Willies, very easy one to start you off. Which well-known nursery rhyme contains the following lines? upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown, tapping at the windows, crying at the locks. Oh, got itchy nose syndrome again. So question 1, which well-known nursery rhyme contains the following lines? Upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown, tapping at the windows, crying at the lock. No, it's not the Performing Rights Society either. Yeah, tapping. Is that why I spelt it wrong? Was it? Oh, right. That sounds good to me. Great White, you'll have to make yourselves. We'll buy you a beer if you get over from Toronto. That sounds good to me. Post-lockdown, I might be doing the quiz on a Sunday night. I don't see us doing this until, I don't know, late autumn at the very earliest, but we'll see. Things might change quickly. Right, remember, all these answers have got to have a Willie in them somewhere. Question number 2, who is a fictional character who appears in Roald Dahl's 1964 children's novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and its sequel Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator? Nice easy one there. So who is a fictional character that appears in Roald Dahl's 1964 children's novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and its sequel Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator? Not that I've read either of them, but I ought to. No, I don't. Question number 3 for all you sports fans. Football question. You're going to love this one. Sif's going, oh no, I'm definitely getting a Coke now. Question number 3. Who in 1948 was made captain of the England football team? A year later, he led Wolves to an FA Cup final victory over Leicester City at Wembley Stadium. Another famous Willie. So who in 1948 was made captain of the England football team? A year later, he led Wolves on an FA Cup final victory over Leicester City at Wembley Stadium. Ian, yes, there is a hole in my Leslie Barrett, putting my wellies on, getting ready to go around the block and come back again till we get a round that suits. You're all right. You'll get these, Sif. Come on. These are not particularly tricky, these ones. You'll all get that one. You'll get this one as well. Come on. This is very much up your street. Question number 4. A native of Kingston upon Hull, who was a former English politician, philanthropist, and the leader of the movement to stop the slave trade. Another famous Willie. So a native of Kingston upon Hull, who was a famous English politician, philanthropist, and the leader of the movement to stop the slave trade. Yes, possibly, Martin. Although you can tell Tina's probably, half of Willie's not really what she's after, I'm sure. Sorry, that was a bit rude. Sorry. Question number 5. Dead easy, this one. Who was a Scottish knight who became one of the main leaders during the Wars of Scottish Independence. Along with Andrew Moray, he helped to defeat the English army at the Battle of Stirling Bridge way back in September of 1297. It's a long time ago. So who was a Scottish knight who became one of the main leaders during the Wars of Scottish Independence? Along with Andrew Moray, he helped to defeat an English army at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in the September of 1297. The round featuring masks. Yes, we could have a round featuring masks. A masked round. So we've got a booby round, a masks round. What else do we want? Yeah. It's not how big it is, it's what you do with it. Apparently, yes. Apparently it is, Ian. Question number 6. This will bring you down to earth here. Who is a fictional character in the long-running cartoon strip in the British comic Viz that appeared in 1983? He was created by artist Chris Donald and parodies Roy of the Rovers. So we're looking for a famous Billy from Viz. So who is a fictional character in the long-running cartoon strip in the British comic Viz that first appeared in 1983? He was created by artist Chris Donald and parodies Roy of the Rovers. Yeah, we could have a PRS acronym round. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. And then I could put the answer at the bottom, see whether you can work it out. Oh dear, oh dear. Question number 7 is interesting. Born in 1940, remember we're looking for a famous Willie. Born in 1942, whose first trade was as a welder in the Glasgow shipyards, but gave up to pursue a career as a folk singer. In 1972, he played the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and released his first album, a mix of comedy songs and short monologues. That kind of gives it away a bit there. So born in 1942, whose first trade was as a welder in the Glasgow shipyards, but gave up to pursue a career as a folk singer. In 1972, he played the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and released his first album, which was a mixture of comedy songs and short monologues. Yes, this glass has got a hole in it. I'm sure it has, down here somewhere. I wonder how long you'd have to leave a glass of beer before it all evaporated. What's that? Oh, it never gets the chance. No, it probably doesn't. But never mind. Be an interesting experiment. Question number 8. Listen carefully. In the year 2000, who launched the largest transparently operated private foundation in the world? As of 2018, it has donated an estimated $48 billion to good causes. So question 8 again. In the year 2000, who launched the largest transparently operated private foundation in the world? As of 2018, it has donated an estimated $48 billion to good causes, and I'm sure the Rotary Club will know that one. Kevin and the gang will know that one straight away. Question number 9 is a doddle. Well, I keep having to change it every time I've asked this question. I've asked it a few times years ago. I keep having to change the age because he gets older. Which 89-year-old Canadian actor, author, and producer gained worldwide fame and became a cultural icon for his portrayal of Captain James T. Kirk? So which 89-year-old Canadian actor, author, and producer gained worldwide fame and became a cultural icon for his portrayal of Captain James T. Kirk? 2-word answer, of course. I'm after for that. It's no good just putting Willie down for all the answers. They are all famous Willies. I could have had you down there, Chilly Willie. Never mind, I didn't. And finally, question number 10. Listen carefully. Scripted by Ben Elton, Upstart Crow, starring David Mitchell, is a British sitcom that parodies the life of which famous person? Leslie Barrett, 89. Good grief! Yeah, I did check that today to make sure his age, because I think I've got it down as 87, but I clearly knew that he got a bit older, so I thought I'd better correct it, just in case any smart ass knew his exact age. You know what it's like, these things. There's nothing worse than asking a quiz question and getting it completely wrong, which I've done many times before, but never mind. So question number 10 again, scripted by Ben Elton. Upstart Crow, starring David Mitchell, is a British sitcom that parodies the life of which famous person? Nice easy one there. So we have 10 famous Willies, and I hope you've all done fairly well with those. Oh, they're back on the mojitos again, going down well apparently. What's that? You're sorting them out. You sort up now. Well done. Right, round 4, we've done fairly well. I think a glass every 2 rounds, that's about right. Right, do we need any longer on those, or have we got most of the famous Willies? It was a pretty straightforward general knowledge round, that one. Nothing too tricky. Any other suggestions for rounds? We've had a PRS round. We've had what else have we had? We've had a few rounds. Oh, the mask round. Not quite sure what that's about, but never mind. We could do. Quite sure the mask. The mask. Trying to think how you connect lots of masks. You know. Yeah, the Mask of Zorro. Disney. Yes, Disney. Disney seems yeah. British sports cars. Ooh, could do. British sports cars. Don't you dare. What's that? British sports cars or Disney? Beers of the World. Now, there's a good one. Beers of the World. Swedish folk rock. Yes, that sounds good. Could be like Kazakhstani dancing styles or something, couldn't it? Curry round. Yes. Could have a curry round. Who wants a curry round? We could do that. Especially as I go to India every year. History of the SAS. Now, it might be a bit specialist, that, but I don't know. Could be. Sounds like a round you'd have on Mastermind, you know, as your first round, you know. History of the SAS. Right then, let's get on with it. Here we go. These are the answers to the previous Willies round. Yes, Thomas the Tank Engine picture round. I hope you would. Well, you'd know them all. You've got kids, haven't you, of course? I used to love Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, yes, a child. Question number 1. Which well-known nursery rhyme contains the following lines? Upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown, tapping the windows, crying a lot. That was Wee Willie Winky, of course. Number 2, the fictional character that appears in Roald Dahl's 1964 children's novel was Willy Wonka. Number 3, of course, Billy Wright was what I was after. Billy Wright, who captained England football team in 1948. Number 4, native to Kingston upon Hull, it was William Wilberforce I was after, who was the leader of the movement to stop the slave trade. Number 5, the Scottish knight who I wanted was in fact William Wallace. Number 6, I wanted, that was a bit tricky, who is the fictional character in the long-running cartoon strip British comic Viz. It was Billy the Fish. Billy the Fish. Well done if you got that. That wasn't easy. Number 7, born 1942. Who first tried was a welder. Well, it was Billy Connolly I was after. Billy Connolly started as a welder, then became a folk musician, then became, of course, a comedian, I suppose. But it was probably all those in the first place. Number 8, the largest transparently operated private foundation in the world was started by Bill and Melinda Gates. Bill and Melinda Gates. So well done if you got that. Number 9. In 1980, which 89-year-old Canadian actor, author, and producer gained worldwide fame and became a cultural icon? It was William Shatner, of course. William Shatner. And finally, scripted by Ben Elton, Upstart Crow, starring David Mitchell, is a famous British sitcom that parodies the life of which famous person? That, of course, was William Shakespeare. Right then, round number 5. Let's have some scores up, see how you've all played. Billy played in a group with Jerry Rafferty. He did. Yes, I saw that. Right, we have Chilly Willy with 39 points. Come on, can we not knock any off? Chilly Willy is doing really well there. We got Ian Miller. Correct, Leslie, sorry. Michelle Gibbons with 39. Don Grizzotti with 40. Squeaky Bob with 37. Tina Ridgeway with 37. Forskins with 37. We've got Home Alone with 39. The Rugby Road go with 37 points. Great White from Toronto with 39 points. We've got Helen and Stephen Valentine on 33 points. Grant Gifford from Cambridge on 33 points. We've got Mike Yates on 29. Ice Ice Baby are on the... I've just lost him. Just gone off my screen. Sorry. Ice Ice Baby on 38 with the famous 39 points. Sarah from Worcester on 36 points. We've got Ian Miller, another 10 there out of 10. Sorry, Ian, if you missed 2 rounds. You can add yourself another whatever, but never mind. Mick Roberts on 28. Well played to you. We've got Harry, Julian, Ian, 38 points. Well within striking distance. Diane, Alex, Pinky and Perky on 35. Martin Davison on 32. Better round for them. Stuart Colwell, 29.5. Helen and Steve Valentine are on 35. We've got Ruth Foster with Spoonfish and the Greys on 35 points. Donna Brown, me and Matt on 33. We've got Andrew Lewis from Yelvertoft on 30. Does that mean Tina and Neil are just ahead of you, I think? Leslie Barrett's on 33, so not too bad at all. Chris Speaks on 36. Well done, Chris. We've got Roger. Oh, bother. Sorry, wait a minute. It keeps going off my screen. Roger Gibbs on 29. We have Nikki Bowers on 29.5. Paula and EJ on 36. Jill Pugh on 28.5. Carrie Mitchell on 30. We've got Footy Fox 86 on 27. Booby Prize Girls are on 33. Well done then. Mark Gandon's on 28. PRS are on 39 points. Got Greg Pugh on 38 points. Well done, Greg Pugh. It must have been all that cycling. We've got Kay Partridge on 41. Or is that 140? 140. I don't know. Jenny Graham and friends on 37 points. Well played them. Chris Pickard on 34 points. We've got Chris Meads split the difference on 39. Chilly Willy and Joe. Chilly Willy's on 39. And we've got Lockdown Derby on 37 points. And I think Brummies didn't get Billy right. So yeah, I thought you'd get that straight away. Billy Wright. Never mind. Well, yeah, that would have put you on 38, Keith. A football question, you can't get that one wrong, surely. Quizzy Rascals are on 39. They're just pipping you at the moment. So, we have a number of teams on 39 points. We're Don Quizzotti on 40 points. I don't know. Let's just go back. I think they were on straight 40 at the moment. Yes, they are. So in the lead at the moment by 1 point, we have Don Quizzotti on 40 points. They haven't dropped a point yet. However, there's time left yet. Right, initial letter link, basically. We have 9 general knowledge questions, where question 10 asks you to rearrange the first letters of the previous 9 answers. So you need to write the answers down as you go. Take the first letter, and at the end of this, I'll ask you a question where you need to rearrange the letters. So here we go. Starting off, question number 1. Listen carefully, not too difficult. Zealand, that's spelled Z-E-A-L-A-N-D, Zealand, the 4th most populated island in Europe, is part of which country? So Zealand, the 4th most populated island in Europe, is part of which country? Now, if you didn't know that, don't worry. Just put a few options down, and you can come back to that one when you've worked out the link at the end. Question number 2. This is another one, a football question, but this is for Greg and for Keith again and the gang, and for you real quiz boffins. Which South American country lost to Uruguay in the first ever FIFA World Cup final? So, which South American country lost to Uruguay in the first ever FIFA World Cup final? Now, if there's anybody I didn't read their score out, just tell me, and I will do. It's just that it scrolls up too fast as you're all putting your scores in. I can't read it fast enough. Never mind. And reading fast was never really my forte, but never mind. Nicky Bowers wants a sports round. Leslie Barrett, no. He doesn't like music and he doesn't like sport. He likes books. That's what he likes. Don't you, Sid? What round would suit you? Question number 3. The Rocket and the Essex Exocet are nicknames associated with which World Championship winning snooker player? So the Rocket and the Essex Exocet are nicknames associated with which World Championship winning snooker player? Carrie Mitchell. No sport. She doesn't like sports either. It's funny, you know, because a lot of quizzes, the majority like sport and music. And it's very difficult to not have sport and music. I think a good cross-section of everything. Even if you didn't know that plenty of things from the Paris Olympics, that's what we need. Keith used to love those questions, didn't he, Keith? Question number 4. Named after the Queen's consort to King William IV, what is the capital city of the state of South Australia? So, named after the Queen consort of King William IV, what is the capital city of the state of South Australia? I think you're drinking faster than me, Chris. I think it's the beer, not the glass, Nick. Just finished the first pint of lockdown, lasted 1 round. Well, I've got a 1 litre glass and it's lasting me 2 rounds. So, yeah, not that we're in a competition or anything, but never mind. BPGs don't do sport. Oh, right. Question number 5. This is another sport question. I'm sure you'll love this one. What is the main colour on the front of a packet of Walker's salt vinegar flavoured crisps? So what is the main colour on the front of a packet of Walker's salt vinegar flavoured crisps? At one time I did hold the record whilst I was in the Merchant Navy on one of the tankers I went of the crisp packet eating record of about 29 seconds to eat a 33 gram, I think, bag. They've changed the sizes these days, so you can't. Never mind. Question number 6, dead easy one this. Who starred as Police Sergeant Neil Howie in the 1973 film The Wicker Man? So question 3, who starred as Police Sergeant Neil Howie in the 1973 film The Wicker Man? No, it wasn't a sport question, Keith. I was having you on that one. Never mind. Well, sport of crisp eating, I suppose. She was at the time, yes. She never knew anything about that, Chili, but never mind. Right then, question number 7. Question number 7. How many circles of hell are there in Dante Alighieri's epic poem, Divine Comedy? So question number 7 again. How many circles of hell are there in Dante Alighieri's epic poem, The Divine Comedy? That's an interesting question. Italy's most famous person. Well, not person. Author. Is the temperature the same as it was earlier? Yeah, it's exactly the same. Still 23 degrees in here. Has anybody put their heating on over this weekend? I had heard that 1 or 2 people were getting cold. Can't believe that. When? Oh, we had the fan on, yeah. What, yesterday? We did. Here we go. We got Leslie Barrett. Yes. Donna Brown. Mine was on yesterday. Dear God. Ian Miller, the wife, did. Martin Davis, think this round has decided which film we watch tonight. What's that? Dante's Inferno. Are you going to watch? Let me have a think. What can we put with Dante's Inferno? Never mind. Question number 8. Which town in Bedfordshire was famous for its hat making industry and is home to a league football team named the Hatters? So which town in Bedfordshire was famous for its hat making industry and is home to a league football team named the Hatters? My thermostat's broken. Hopefully getting Hive tomorrow. You got a Hive thermostat. Is it just lost sync, or is it knackered? Ah, The Wicker Man. Yeah, it was an interesting film, that I have to say. Bit disturbing, but never mind. My wife doesn't like anything like that, Martin. Question. Very probably. Question number 9. What Latin word for field is also used in English to refer to the grounds and buildings of a university or college? So what Latin word for field is also used in English to refer to the grounds and buildings of a university or college? Pretty straightforward one, that. Now then, you need to write down the first letters of each of your answers. Right or wrong, missing or not missing. We're watching the Brit version. Fair enough. Right, listen carefully. Question number 10 asks the first letters of the first words in the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which famous mansion which was opened to the public as a museum in 1982. Big clue there, it's a one-word answer. So the first letters of the first words in the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which famous mansion which was opened to the public as a museum in 1982. Now, if you can work that out, you can then work all the other ones out if you got something wrong. So I will give you a minute. I could hum or sing or play the ukulele. Not that I've got a ukulele. I have to get my violin out of the attic space. Not that I've got an attic, but I've got a bit of a space in my bungalow. Play some music whilst you're all thinking about that round. I will give you a minute to work those out because you need to work that. Yeah, The Wicker Man. We are watching the Brit version. Well, it was a good film. Right then, has everybody been having beer and supper and whatever else? Anybody got their snacks out, or are we not snacking tonight? I do remember, yes, I'm probably having a bit of blue cheese to make sure I've got plenty of vitamin K. Apparently, according to the news today, vitamin K keeps COVID away. That was the headline or something in the Mirror. So vitamin K, apparently you can get high levels of vitamin K in blue cheese and what was the other thing, and? Oh, and spinach. Spinach and blue cheese gives you plenty of vitamin K, apparently. So vitamin K keeps COVID away. That was the headline, something in the Mirror or something. Never mind. But we will see. Well, I hope the weather books up this week because it's no fun being at home. Poo. How are you doing, Squeaky Bob? Come on, have you had enough time, or do you need a bit more time to work this one out? Popeye never had COVID. That's true. He never did. That is very true. We were watching what we were watching last night, and quite interesting. They had it was something about Richard III and the White. What was it? The White Queen. Yeah, I know a lot of you might have seen The White Queen, but we hadn't seen it, so we thought we'd start watching it. And The White Queen, basically, they had sweating disease from 1400 and something. We never did find out what it was, but apparently it was a pretty vicious disease. So here we go. Great White wants a bit more time. It's fair enough because there is that delay, obviously, pinging the feed up to the satellite and back from Canada. So we will allow you a little bit more time. Leslie Brown, blown it utterly now. Oh, have you blown this one completely? Come on, Sif, you'll be all right. Work it backwards. Have you got the connection, Sif? That's the important thing. Chili Willy wants a bit more time. My son did that poo. Oh. I hope you didn't do a poo while you were eating. But never mind. My son did that. How old's your son? Never mind. That's kind of a thing. Oh, did I? Well, I might have done. I don't know. However, I didn't have the question shortly. Pronounce pew. Fair enough. Right then, are we all happy now? Have we had enough time to get those together? Quickly put something in the, if you need any more time, quickly put it in the chat. Otherwise, we'll call it a day and we will we'll give you the answers to those previous questions. Right, one last swig and then we're off with the answers. All right, here we go. Question 1. Zealand, the fourth most populated island in Europe, is part of which country? That's Denmark. Denmark. Number 2, which South American country lost to Uruguay? That was Argentina lost to Uruguay in the first ever FIFA World Cup final. Number 3, the Rocket and the Essex Exocet. Their names used for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Number 4, named after the Queen Consort of King William IV. What is the capital city of the state of South Australia? That was Adelaide. Number 5, what is the main colour on the front packet of Walker's Salt Vinegar crisps? Everybody seems to have copied them, including Aldi's and Tesco's and whatever else. They all colour them green, surprisingly. There is some coherence in crisp packet colouring amongst all the big retailers. Number 6, who starred as Police Sergeant Neil Howie in the 1973 film The Wicker Man, which apparently Martin's going to watch later. It was Edward Woodward. Well done if you got Edward Woodward. Number 7, how many circles of hell are there in Dante's Alighieri's epic poem, The Divine Comedy? There are 9 circles of hell. Number 8, the Bedfordshire football team I was after were Luton, better known as the Hatters. Number 9, the Latin word for field is campus, of course. And finally, number 10, the first letter of the first words in the previous 9 answers could be rearranged to spell the name of which famous mansion? That was Graceland, which was once owned by Elvis Presley. Did you know that all crisp go out of date on a Saturday? Oh, do they? Never knew that. That's an interesting one. They just date them week at a time. Weekly batches. Well, right, here we go. We've got Leslie Barrett with a fantastic 39 points. Chili Willy with 48 points. We've got Helen and Steve Valentine, 44 points. We've got Graham Gifford with 43. We've got Sarah with 43 points. Mick Roberts with 38 points. We've got Home Alone, 49 points. Fantastic score, Carol. Jenny Graham and friends, 47 points. Michelle Gibbons, 45. Anthony Ridgway, 45. Carrie Mitchell on 37 points. Sarah Goodall on a fantastic 48 points. Oh, wait a minute. Where have we got to? Michelle, Anthony Ridgway. 48 points. Then we've got Ruth Foster, Spoonfish and the Greys on 45. Mark Gallagher on 34 points. Chris Speaks on 45 points. The Foreskins are on 47 points. The famous Five are on 49 points as well. Martin Davis is on 42. The Answer to the Life, Universe and Everything. Yes, number 42. Well done. We have Donna Brown, Matt and me on 43 points. Footy Fox 86 on 36. Paul and Eve J on 46 points. Ian Miller's on 33. Missed a couple of rounds. Pink and Perkin on 43 points. We've got Andrew Lewis on 37 points. Stuart Colwell doing very well somewhere. Where has he got to? I've just gone off the screen again. Sorry. Stewart's on 37.5. We've got Squeaky Bob on 47 points. We've got the Lockdown Derby on 47 points. We've got Roger Griffiths on 34. Nicky Bowers, 35.5. We've got PRS on 49 points. They were Wednesday's winner. We've got Split the Difference on 49 points. We've got Great White. Oh, they've crashed and burned on 49 points. And we've got Don Quixote. They've dropped a point or two. They're now on 48 points. Mike Yates is on 35 points. Greg Pugh's just dropped a couple there on 44 points. We've got Chris Pickard on 44. Joel Pugh's on 35 points. Taking a good hammering from Greg Pugh there by the looks of things, but never mind. Ian and Julie on 47. We've got the Rugby Road Club on 44. Dropped a few there. Alex Brown on 37. We got the Booby Prize Girl. Our first 10. I can't believe that's our first 10. 43 points. Well played, you. Getting the big guns out now, breaking open the monster munch. Right. Casey Barge on 15. We got Paul Lewis. Quizzy Rascals on 48 points. So we have 48s, 47s, 48s, 49s, a couple of 49s, 47s, 48s. So anybody, 48, 49, 47. In fact, we have the famous 5 on 49. We have Carol Jackson, Home Alone, and the gang on 49 points. We have Split the Difference on 49 points, and we have PRS on 49 points. Then we have a number of teams on 48 points and 1 or 2 on 47 points. Now, the last round, as always, a little bit tricky, but they are straightforward general knowledge questions. 1 or 2 will catch you out. The rest will be fairly straightforward. So here we go then. Question number 1. Unclaimed babies were then rebranded as Peace Babies to mark the end of World War I and were relaunched in 1953 with the name by which they're known as now. What is it? So question number 1, unclaimed babies were then rebranded as Peace Babies to mark the end of World War I and were relaunched in 1953 with the name by which they are now known. What is that name? Little Cheese and Onion blue packets got some today. Yes, this is the whole point. All the manufacturers seem to have come up with the same colours, don't they? So I don't know. Actually, cheese and onion. What are Walker's cheese and onion crisps? Are they blue or yellow? Yellow is normally cheese, isn't it? Got some today. Awful. So don't eat Little Cheese and Onion crisps. They're awful, apparently. They're blue. How interesting. They're all cheese. Yes, they are. Of course, all cheese and onion crisps are blue, aren't they? Blue. Yes. Okay. Wait a minute. What about what's those ones we have in the pub that are yellow? Tyrrell's ones. Are they just cheddar cheese or something? Sorry, Rich. Right, question number 2. Here we go. In the world of text messaging, what do the letters CUS stand for in the abbreviation? So question number 2, in the world of text messaging, what do the letters CUS stand for in the abbreviation? One for the youngsters, that one. Definitely one for Sif, that one. Not. Question number 3, listen carefully. Running from Stratford to Stanmore, which London line opened in 1979, is effectively the newest line on the network and is coloured grey on a map of the London Underground? Good old Rich, don't worry. Ageist. So question 3 again. Running from Stratford to Stanmore, which London line opened in 1979, is effectively the newest line on the network and is coloured grey on a map of the London Underground. Yeah, it wasn't an easy one, that one, but never mind. Question number 4, listen carefully. Which 2 US states have names that end with a silent letter S in their normal pronunciation? So which 2 US states have names that end with a silent letter S in their normal pronunciation? So clearly not Texas, because you can hear the S in that one. So Texas doesn't count. So we're looking for the 2 states with silent letter S's. Question number 5, this will catch a few out. This is for all you 10-pin bowling fans. In 10-pin bowling, Keith will get this one. If you bowl 10 strikes in a row, but fail to hit any pins with your 2 extra bonus rolls, how many points would you score in total for the game? So in 10-pin bowling, if you bowl 10 strikes in a row, but fail to hit any pins with your 2 extra bonus balls, not that that's likely, how many points would you score in total? You're not going to get 10 strikes in a row and then miss them, are you? But if you did, what score would you get? Come on, Keith, I expect you to get that right. And I expect the arguments have started. Sean's bound to know better than you. Although Rich T will probably know as well. We will see. When I was at college, and me a 17-year-old or 16-year-old, whatever I went, I joined the Dagenham Bowling Club and bowled for I think it was Sunday nights. We used to go bowling at Dagenham, which was quite good fun. And then later on, we had a team in the rugby league. Me, Keith, and Matty, and Sam. That's right, the 4 of us, on a regular basis. And Sean used to turn up occasionally, and we did all right. So I expect you all to know that one right. Question number 6. Of the 17 chemical elements whose name begin with a vowel, which is the only one not to share its first letter with any other element? So question number 6 again. Of the 17 chemical elements whose name begin with a vowel, such as oxygen, which is the only one not to share its first letter with any other element? Obviously oxygen, organicium, isn't it? That's a bit tricky. One for you to work out. Well, we're approaching the end of round 6 and the glass is nearly empty. So it's done very well. 2 refills during the rounds. Right, question number 7. Listen carefully. Which of the following phobias did Indiana Jones have a fear of? Well, it's probably no, he didn't have a fear of the phobia, but which phobia does Indiana Jones have, I should have put. I'll give you the choice. Was it allurophobia, aphidophobia, or ichthyophobia? They're the 3 phobias I'm after. So, which of the following phobias does Indiana Jones have? I'll give you the choice. Was it allurophobia, ophidophobia, or ichthyophobia? Yeah, it says, which of the following phobias does Indiana Jones have? Just put have. Doesn't he have a fear of a phobia? I'll say that one again because we've just altered the thing. So, which of the following phobias does Indiana Jones have? I'll give you this choice. Was it allurophobia, ophidophobia, or ichthyophobia? No, it's not. Which of the following phobias does Indiana Jones have? No, he has a phobia. That's fine. I think that's all. How are we faring in this round? Anyway, there's a few tricky ones in here. This might sort a few out. Come on, Carol Jackson. I'm expecting a win tonight for you, team. Or thereabouts. You're within a shout tonight. Question number 8. Pretty straightforward, this one. Which planet's 2 moons are named after twin brothers from Greek mythology who personify fear and dread? So question 8 again. Which planet's 2 moons are named after twin brothers from Greek mythology who personify fear and dread? And it can't be Uranus, because you remember last week, I think we had 20, how many moons? 28 moons going around Uranus or something. Which, of course, if everybody remembers, it was more moons going around than rings. Never mind. So, it's the planet I want. Yes, it's the planet. So, which planet's 2 moons? Question number 9, dead easy one. This is the penultimate question of the quiz. In which of the 4 swimming styles that feature at the Olympic Games do competitors start a race in the water? So pretty straightforward that. In which of the 4 swimming styles that feature at the Olympics do competitors start a race in the water? And again, finally, number 10. This is the last question of the quiz, just to see you all off. Not a tricky one. Starring David Jason. What was a television detective series produced for ITV from the 6th of December 1992 until the 5th of April 2010? So question 10 again, nice easy one. Starring David Jason, what was a television detective series produced for ITV from the 6th of December 1992 until the 5th of April 2010? And there we have it. There are all your 60 questions tonight. Let's see how we've all fared. I will give you a minute to work those out, but there's not much really there to work out, is there? Maybe the element needs working out, but other than that, I think you'll be all right. Well, it's been a very hotly contested quiz tonight. Everybody's very close at the top there. We've got some cracking teams taking part as usual. Some of these, of course, come and do the Victoria Ring quiz on a Sunday night regularly. But it is some months now since we've done a quiz, which is such a shame. And I don't quite know when we're going to be able to do them again, but we will see. We have room in the pub to space teams out on a Sunday night. Depends how far they've got to be spaced from each other. That's the problem, especially if they're just friends and not family. All this, but we will see. We will see what things bring over the next month or two. Right then, do we need any more time, anybody, or are we all right? Answers. I will give you another minute, and then we'll get going. All right. Sorry, Ian. I know you missed the first 2 rounds. You can go back and have a look at it. It's live, but you can go back, sadly, and look at it again if you wish to. I've left them all on there, all my quizzes. But never mind. And do remember, if you want to get updates, whatever, you can just subscribe to the YouTube channel, Pewey 1957. It makes it nice and easy to log in, unless you follow the link on Twitter or Facebook, whichever. Right then, let's get some marking done. Are we ready? Last round. Here we go then. Eyes down, look in. I hope we've all got an answer for the previous 10 questions. General knowledge, general trivia. Unclaimed babies were then rebranded as Peace Babies to mark the end of World War I, and were relaunched in 1953 with the name by which they are now known. They're now known as Jelly Babies. Jelly Babies. Well done if you got that. Number 2. CUS stands for the abbreviation in text messaging. See you soon. See you soon. Number 3, running from Stratford to Stanmore, which line opened in 1979 and is coloured grey on the map. It's the Jubilee line. The Jubilee line. Well done if you got that. Number 4, the 2 US states that have a name ending with a silent letter. I'll give you half for each. It's Arkansas and Illinois. Arkansas and Illinois. Number 5 was a tricky. In 10-pin bowling, if you bowl 10 strikes in a row but fail to hit any pins with your 2 extra bonus balls, how many points would you score in total? You would score 270. 270. Well done if you worked that out. Frame 8 would have scored you 240. Frame 9 would have scored you 260. And frame 10 would score you 270. Number 6 of the 17 chemical elements whose names begin with a vowel, which is the only one not to share its first letter with any other element. That's uranium. All the elements have been named recently, so there's no deuteriums or whatevers. So uranium. Number 7. Which of the following phobias does Indiana Jones have? I gave you the choice. Was it allurophobia, ophidophobia, or ichthyophobia? It was ophidophobia, which of course is the fear of snakes. Ophidophobia. He was frightened to death of snakes. Number 8, which planet's 2 moons are named after the twin brothers from Greek mythology? That's Mars. The 2 moons are called Phobos and Deimos, fear and dread. Number 9, in the of the 4 swimming styles that feature in the Olympics, which is the one that starts the race in the water? That's backstroke, of course. And fine number 10 was A Touch of Frost, starring David Jason. So well done if you got all those. Right then, let's see how you fared. I'm expecting a few 8s, 9s. I doubt whether we got many 10s, but we will see. So add them up and start putting your scores in these sides. So we have Chilly Willy +9 and 57 points. Well played, Chilly Willy. And that is a good score. So I'll write that down just in case. Chilly Willy, 57 out of 60. We've got the famous 5 on 57 out of 60. That's a great score as well. Come on then. Anthony Ridgway, 53. Graham Gifford's on 50. Sorry. We've got Chris Beak on 55. Sarah's on 51. Well done then. Michelle's on 52. Mike Yates on his own on 42 points. Well, I don't think he's on his own, but he's nearly on his own. Right, we've got Carol Jackson, Home Alone on 58 points. Well done, Carol, there or thereabouts. We've got Donna Brown, Matt Meehan finished on 49.5. Nick Roberts on 47. We've got Squeaky Bob, 57 points. Mark Allen's on 30. What's he on? Oh, sorry, 36.5. Got Carrie Mitchell on 46 points. That's very good. Ruth Foster, Spoonfish and the Greys are on 54. We've got PRS on 58 points. Nikki Bowers, 41. Dreadful. Oh, dear. Sorry, Nikki. Sarah Goodall, Ice Ice Baby on 55. That's a great score. Roger Griffiths on 39.5 points. We have Ian Miller off to feed the Hedgehogs. Great quiz, 36. Well, that wasn't too bad considering you missed a round or two. Julian Pugh on 43 points. Very good. The Rugby Roach Club on a fantastic 52 points. I hope you got Bill Gates Foundation. I'm sure you did. Ruth Foster, Sorry, Don Quixote, 57 points, dipping out by a point there at the moment. And then we have, oh, bother. We've got Andrew Lewis on 43.5 points. Stuart Colwell, 45.5 points. Martin Davis, very good, 50 points. We got Jackie Skip, Booby Prize Girls on 50.5 points. Footy Fox 86 on 44.5. Paul and EJ on 54 points. The Foreskins on 55 points. We've got Pinky and Perky on 50. We've got Ian Sharrett, Julie, Harry, and Ian on 56. That's a great score. Leslie Barrett, 46.5. I'm off to shoot myself. No, don't feel too depressed, but never mind. Great work. Where has he gone? As always, in front. Great. Oh, the big tits went up. What's that? Big tits up. Came at 5. Chris Mees split the difference on 56 points. We've got Jenny Graham and friends on 55. The Lockdown Derby on 56 points. Greg P on 51. We've got Paula Lewis. What's that? 57 points. Martin Davis enjoyed that. Any more scores to come in? Have we got a winner? I don't know. We've got some 58s out there. A couple of 58s. So we've got the Quizzy Rascals on 57. We've got the Lockdown Derby on 56. We've got Split the Difference on 56. We've got Ian Sharrett, Hallie and Julian Ian on 56 points. We've got Ian Townsend and the Foreskins are on 55. We've got Don Quixote, 57. We've got what else we got? We've got Ice Ice Baby on 55. PRS are on 58 points. We have Squeaky Bob, 57 points. That's a great score. We've also got Carol Jackson, Home Alone, 58 points. Famous 5, 57 points. Second place-ish tonight. And Chilly Willy on 57. So it appears Chilly Willy 57. John O'Rourke on the Famous 5 on 57. But out in the lead tonight, we've got Home Alone 6 on a fantastic 58 points alongside PRS also on 58 points. Well played them. Followed by a number of teams. We've got Don Quixote on 57, along with the Famous 5 on 57, and Chilly Willy on 57. All very good scores tonight. That basically means you've only dropped a couple of points. And we've got the Quizzy Rascals on 57 points. So 4 teams on 57. And then on 56 points, we've got the Lockdown Derby on 56. We've got Split the Difference on 56. We've got Ian, Harry and Julie on 56. And so on and so forth. So a great quiz tonight. Thank you all. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. It was very closely fought and contested tonight. We will, or I will be, doing another quiz on Wednesday night. All things being equal, starting again 8 for 8:15 quiz on Wednesday night. If you really want to take part in the quiz on Wednesday night, 6 rounds of absolute rubbish. We'll see what we can put together to keep those brains ticking over in these tricky times. But some great scores there, really. When you've only dropped 2 points in a quiz, that isn't bad going at all. And 1 or 2 of those were particularly tricky. So good night all, and thank you very much all for taking part in tonight's quiz. I will enjoy the rest of my beer. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evenings, and we will see you soon, maybe on Wednesday if you're feeling keen and up for it. So there are some people that just do the Wednesday night quiz, and there are others that just do the Sunday night quiz. It's a shame we can't get everybody to do all of them, but it's fair enough. Anyway, good night all, and thank you very much. I'm ending now. If you want to carry on chatting for a minute, you are more than welcome. Cheers.